My name is Sarah Bodri, and I'm a photographer. Immediately when I was doing this, when I started shooting, I was like, is what I'm doing feminist? Like, I don't know how to answer that. I don't know why it would be, because I don't think that just because I'm a feminist making art makes my work feminist by default. Like, there has to be an intentionality there. Especially blue. Some of that just decidedly and obviously feminist and activist art, either performance or sculpture or painting or whatever, can make you really uncomfortable, and it can incite a lot of critical thinking and reevaluation of what you think art should look like, and that is really important. I think that's like responsibility of the artist. I still love the lines, like, that's a mirror underwater. The idea of not returning the gaze of the other and refusing to be acknowledged by my gaze was a really big part of the process. Because where does that leave both people? Where does that leave the individual? What becomes of subjectivity then? Like, because that's how we define ourselves, is via the gaze of the other, I see you seeing me, and therefore I know that I am me. Like, this is like a very fundamental human psychological thing, right? And that's not present in these images. So is the person holding the mirror really empowered if their vision is obscured by the mirror? Like, they can't actually see what's going on, but maybe they don't need to. Right now I'm kind of thinking about like working with mirrors, and I love it, and I feel like it's a great tool to do something traditional in a unique way. I don't know how much I want to keep working with mirrors. I'm going to do it until I stop loving it. The idea of not being able to locate the other visually. And so for me that was really interesting, because while I was shooting, I was always trying to get myself out of the frame. I basically become the subject via the mirror. But for the most part, I was trying to escape that. I wanted this portrait to enable the subject to become the landscape, if that makes sense. You know, like where the face is, there's trees. Where the face is, there is water. Where the face ought to be, there is only nature. And that, to me, was really interesting. So the human kind of becomes the landscape. It was hard to ask myself whether or not it was a feminist series, or if my photography is feminist. But decidedly it is, because the act of refusing the gaze of the other, and the act of woman refusing to be sexualized despite her vulnerable position on a beach in her bathing suit with a mirror, that whole thing is this really important act of refusal, and that to me is empowering. After much consideration, there is definitely a feminist aspect to this work. I mean, I am a feminist. Dans son effort